Alrighty, it is currently 10:15 a.m. and this is the impossible light activity. This is the placement of light that's flat on the ground. It creates the shape of the object that the engineer light is touching. And this is not sunlight, but it is indicative of stalking by a population in that environment under the fake sun. This is the sidewalk that is facing the direction east at what is Euclid Avenue and East Street, as you can see here. And this is the same Starbucks where it was at. I want you to see the history of what the entity has been engaging in today, which is stalking under a fake sun. This is evidence of surveillance, and the timing of sitting next to me is based on what I'm doing on my communication device under what is the fake sun that's remaining at 507 North Euclid Avenue. So the entity is engaging what is keeping the fake sun, as I'm documenting today at Starbucks, and I started this video at 10:15 a.m. in reference to the entity maintaining the fake sun at Starbucks as opposed to it in a natural environment, which is what you're always prosecuting by. It is it is informing the entity that is engaging in surveillance in that supernatural environment where gang stalking is underway. So today, where I'm documenting, let me show you a picture of it, and then I will go through the video about what the gang stalkers at Starbucks are engaging in on video, which is terrorism via impossible light activity. This is the fake sun documented at 6:47 a.m. This is the same window, the same Starbucks where the City of Ontario is gang stalking right along with the rest of the people of the state. This is the same sidewalk, and this is the fake sun at 6 o'clock, 4 hours later. I'm still looking at it out of the same cafe. It's on the east side, the north side of the cafe as opposed to the south side of the cafe as I move. And that's why it's also not at what is the Ovid Family Community Library like it is at the same time where I'm capturing video on this yesterday at the same time, which was 24 hours ago. Sorry, let me show you. The entity is maintaining the fake sun at the Ovid Family Community Library in the same manner, but in two distinct locations, which is documentation of stalking in that environment, which is done on behalf of the people of the state who are sharing in criminal monitoring, which is demonic. It's also malicious government action where the entity is engaging in that pattern of conduct. And this is what you see on the bottom right here. It's 507 North Euclid Avenue at Starbucks, where the people of the state are in that environment. And this is the surveillance that they're engaging in, stalking the path with the state. And what I'm going to show you is the impossible light activity that Patty and Saul and Vivian and the rest of the employees in concert with the third-party patrons are engaging when they're molesting your person with impossible light activity pursuant to surveillance. It's also that which they engage in when they are harassing you as you document the entity engaging in surveillance. So first of all, you're understanding presence in this environment and light activity in this environment. Under the fake sun that's remaining, this is the state engaging in what is activity creation. This is demonic. It's also malicious. It's also criminal conduct that Starbucks itself is going to be prosecuted for. Starbucks is a third-party facilitating venue in the same way that the sun is not in the same manner right now at this direction, which is again south of the Starbucks where I'm at right now, and the Ovid Family Community Library is down the street where the sun is not present. So the entity is maintaining this light source. Not only is it not at the same time over the Ovid Family Community Library like I'm documenting at this time. The video ends at 10:20 a.m. It's 10:18 a.m. and I remain inside a Starbucks. The entity is maintaining impossible light activity inside of the venue where they're engaged in Title 18 federal stalking, and they're engaged in what is harassment, molestation with impossible light. So this is the presence of the fake sun, and this is indeed Starbucks. The 215 East C Street, the Ovid Family Community Library, where the entity maintains the fake sun, by the way, as I'm documenting on this day. I'm inside of the parking garage, and the entity is maintaining what I'm going to go through, what Starbucks is engaging in, also with regard to stalking with the fake sun in the specific environment, which is in defiance of nature. And you're witnessing what is stalking in the path, because that's what this is right here. Maintaining presence everywhere that you're going in that environment. And this is also relevant to what LAPD is doing in 2024 when they're engaging what is gang stalking under the fake sun, as the entity is keeping the fake sun not over Starbucks in Ontario but over me at Alvarado Gardens, where you're recognizing gang stalking by the entity in that supernatural environment where the sun is not at the same time over Ovid Family Community Library. You're seeing it reflecting off of the windshield, the rear windshield of these vehicles who are gang stalking, 8K PP 794. as they cross path in possible light, vacillating all inside of the venue, and gang stalkers in and out, while Starbucks is profiting off of domestic terrorism and psychological torture, gang stalking with the City of Ontario. Facilitation is underway by the City of Ontario using utility vehicles all around the venue in use of their communication devices, systematically monitoring, and psychopathic personality disorders is what's diagnosed while you're monitoring, keeping your back to somebody. That's Alana gang stalking. All right, the entity is engaged in this P.O.C. It's currently 10:20 a.m. and inside of the Ovitt Family Community Library, the parking garage, you're looking at what is impossible. The sun that's at the Ovitt Family Community Library is not only not creating this light activity, that's impossible light activity outside, and Patty and the employees of Starbucks and the patrons are molesting, as I will show you earlier today, under the enduring fake sun. So that's 4 hours over the same venue, and it's also juxtaposing with what's not at the same time over the Ovitt Family Community Library when I don't remain at one venue, and it's also not in Los Angeles when you're looking at crossing a path, crossing a path, crossing a path, crossing a path, crossing a path on both sides, group stalking in engineered light. Okay, the entity is engaging, and what I want to show is what the entities are doing with regard to real-time knowledge about documentation. This is the same venue that's engaged in what is stalking under a fake sun. Starbucks is the establishment that's engaged in gang stalking at 507 North Euclid Avenue. The entity is maintaining the fake sun at the same time at 215 East C Street. That is impossible to coexist. You see it reflecting off of the rear windshield of this third party engaging in the pattern of conduct. CX8ZN32, that's a paper plate. The entity is engaging in what is maintaining this light source over the parking garage right over my head in the same manner that it is here at 507 North Euclid Avenue. All right, that's understanding stalking with a fake sun in conformity to the pattern of conduct. And the entity is also engaging in what is molesting with impossible light, which is the significance of the video that I captured yesterday. The intent to murder and kidnap. They want to steal property from me. They're not stealing it. And not only that, the evidence is going to diagnose them. This level of malice is diabolical. This level of malice by a government is unprecedented, and it requires justice, which is going to include disbanding of the kidnappers that are the Ontario Police, monitoring my vagina in the bathroom of every venue in Ontario, while sex offenders who are the people of the state in this environment are stalking in the restrooms. Okay, this is entirely demonic, and it's impossible. Absolutely. So this is relevant to what I'm documenting at Starbucks, where, again, Elena, Alana, Vivian, Patty, the employees of Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue who are under the fake sun right now that's remaining over the establishment in concert with the gang stalking patrons who represent the people of the state, exhibiting severe mental illness while they have failed in manufacturing what is supposed to be mental illness while you're targeting an American citizen in ways in which they're not supposed to be able to prove, and then you're going to demonstrate that they're not capable to maintain their own property, their real property. This is what Tracy Banks in the state of California sought, and Jason Isaac Fields sought to establish by gang stalking. The entity is gang stalking me on a daily, nightly basis by helicopter. The Ontario Police Department engaging in ongoing direct evidence of targeting, and they're doing it in the specific environment in concert with the people of the state. And the engineered light is the direct evidence of surveillance as well, criminal surveillance, and it's also harassment when I am documenting the sexual violence that Starbucks is engaging in, monitoring my genitalia, as I'm referring to in this video, where the sun is not over Starbucks at the same time, like it is today, 24 hours later, when I don't go near the Ovitt Family Community Library. Where, by the way, this is also evidence of what the entity is engaging in. As an aside, let me point out something else to you. The entity is maintaining the fake sun at the Ovitt Family Community Library, and the Starbucks at 507 North Euclid Avenue, maintaining it within what is 0.4 miles on the same street for the duration of the day, while the entity is keeping that light source over me on one street on Euclid Avenue. This is where the entity is engaged in what is conclusive evidence of targeting. Targeting is identified through that supernatural and absolutely ridiculous environment where psychopaths are maintaining straight faces, not regarding you, not addressing you, while they are gang stalking you. And that is also proven through the light activity, and that's what I want to address in this video, where I'm referring to my genitalia that is under surveillance in the bathroom at Starbucks, that is maintaining a fake sun over me at the venue, and impossible light all around me and on my person at the venue where the people of the state are gang stalking. And the duration of time in and of itself is probative. This is 7:32 a.m. It's currently 10 when you're looking at the same window when it is facing the same direction, 10:19 a.m., the entity is maintaining the fake sun with regard to monitoring me. And this is what Starbucks, the corporation, and what Starbucks, each employee, are engaged in with regard to a federal prosecution. And the entity is always gang stalking, understand, for purposes of seeking to defame in order to steal property, which the entity is not going to steal property. The entity is unsuccessful in defaming any American citizen by establishing mental illness by gang stalking. And that's this public corruption that I'm exposing, that the city of Ontario is engaging in. But I want to document, again, the impossible light activity and the fake sun. And this is what the entity is engaging in at 6 in the morning today, where the fake sun is remaining present. All right, this is how Starbucks is harassing after you document sexual violence. Let's go into the prosecution of the company and each of the gang stalkers employed at the venue engaging in that P.O.C. This is impossible light activity. This is what they're doing at nightfall. Sunlight, again, this is not sunlight, this is direct light, this is targeted. Because it is also impossible light activity, this is how you're identifying intent, and this is what the people of the state patrons one after another, and it varies in concentration. So before I started recording, the light is deeper amber orange and reaching farther all the way over to where my laptop is, and the demons are sitting right here in relevant position, stalking. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is the impossible light activity. That is Patty. She's engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring on camera, and so is the corporation Starbucks. She's doing so amongst a supernatural occurrence. Sunlight does not vacillate outside of buildings and on the inside of buildings under an enduring sun, as I'm documenting. 6:37 in the morning, and it's 10 o'clock. And I'm also reminding you about what's happening at the same time at a different venue at the same time that it's remaining over Starbucks. And do not ever forget, because the entity is being prosecuted based on what the LAPD is doing under a fake sun in Los Angeles at Alvarado Gardens, where the people of the state are engaging in the exact same pattern of conduct, keeping impossible light activity like you see inside of the parking garage on the ceiling. This is the significance of what I'm capturing inside of the parking garage, and it's the same pattern of stalking with light, which is the evidence of criminal monitoring that is underway by the state of California that acts in concert with the vicarious actor, the people of the state, which is what Patty represents. Patty is gang stalking me with her co-worker. She's walking in the evidence, engineered light. This is not sunlight. It's also not the sun. It's sitting over the same venue 4 hours later. It's currently 10. So be mindful of the circumstances. It's still over the same venue while I'm looking out the same window. That's hours later, where I am taking the image of what you will see the fake sun. Here you go. 4 hours later, 10:17 a.m. It's not the natural environment. It's not the sun, and neither is that sunlight. It is also relevant that I'm documenting Starbucks engaging in what is gang stalking me in a private space in the midst of private activity, which is the perpetual sex offense. And the next day, the management has closed down the restroom and engages in what is molesting my person with impossible light activity, which is the pattern of conduct. And it's also the pattern of conduct that's underway with the intent to obstruct justice. That is harass me, molest me, psychologically torture me, terrorize me with light that is manifesting supernaturally. And it is literally at the same time the evidence that Starbucks is gang stalking with the state of California. All right, the duration of time regarding the fake sun and the impossible light activity that's shooting into the depths of the cafe where you're looking at that population gang stalking right now under that enduring fake sun. And do not forget that the fake sun is still present at this venue after 6 p.m. in the evening, after 7 p.m. in the evening, where the entity is engaging in what is gang stalking with an entire population. While they're engaging in, I want to be clear, this is violence. Right.
Demons are sitting right here in relevant position, stalking.
They're monitoring.
Okay, this is P.O.C. This is the impossible light activity.
This is all impossible light activity?
That's impossible light activity. It's pursuant to criminal monitoring. And you're witnessing mental illness while Patty is gang stalking on video. All right? Because that's what they're doing. They're gang stalking. And these are the sex offenders that are monitoring the vagina. And the entity is, again, this is the pattern of conduct of harassment, license 8AFL892, engaging in what is molestation with impossible light. These are the demons that are as one entity engaging in harassment as you document them engaging in what is domestic terrorism.
So I want to be clear, that's documented today at 6:34 a.m. The video ends at 6:37 p.m. You're looking at what is crossing a path in the engineer light outside of the building, because they're all under a fake sun that's still over me as I look outside of the same window 4 hours later in this video that I'm capturing right now. And this is also the pattern of conduct while you're looking at the fake sun remaining over in the same manner when I'm at a different address. And you're looking at the shadow of my hand inside of this parking garage.
A criminally procured conservatorship where the entity that's engaging in stalking with engineer light under a fake sun.
This is the entity that is engaging in what is stalking under a fake sun and also engaging in what is stalking with impossible light activity. This is the pattern of conduct that is underway, which is not establishing mental illness on the part of anybody that is being targeted by the state any state, but here it is the state of California that is doing so in concert with the population that is exhibiting severe mental illness while they're in this environment, targeting an American citizen, engaging in federal stalking, monitoring that person's genitalia in bathrooms, and engaging in then what are acts of documentation of harassment and terrorism and psychological torture because you are reporting them like any whistleblower and like myself in the role of federal prosecutor is going to do. This is relevant for federal prison while Ocean and Patty and Saul and Vivian and Alana and Elena engage in what is terrorism in this way inside of this venue under a fake sun that's still 4 hours outside of the same window and it's over the top of my head in a manner that is impossible to coexist with being over the top of my head at the same time at 215 East C Street. You're seeing it, however, though, this is conclusive. What's reflecting off of this windshield parked in front of 507 North Euclid Avenue is not at the entry at the parking garage, reflecting off of this windshield of this vehicle parked at the Ovid Family Community Library at 215 East C Street at the same time. This is the entity that is conclusively shown to be and proven to be stalking in an environment where it is proven that it is that supernatural environment. The fact that it's impossible that this could be, and I'm documenting that impossibility, that's the direct evidence of intentional surveillance, intentional targeting, and that targeting is documented through the light activity. And inside of this parking garage, this is what I'm referring to. While the entity is stalking with light, you can see my hand at the ceiling of this parking garage, and I'm referencing the entity that is impossible to be successful in any court case when you're maintaining a secret conservatorship, seeking to maliciously manufacture mental illness when the mentally ill are gang stalking you, doing things such as the demented pattern of conduct of stalking with light like Patty and the rest of the employees who are the people of the state. That is Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields, the Ontario Police Department, the state acting directly. They share that mental illness. They are the demon-possessed monitoring together in the same exact specific environment. This is impossible light activity, and it is the same pattern of conduct that is underway inside of Starbucks, like I documented this morning. And this is the video that I wanted to capture in order to show that pattern. This is relevant to also monitoring, engaging in federal stalking with the intent to obstruct justice, okay? This is based on my reporting the fact that the entity is monitoring me in the bathroom.
Criminal monitoring, and this criminal monitoring was supposed to aid Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields in maintaining a false marriage, a fake marriage, a criminally procured conservatorship, where the entity that's engaging in stalking with engineered light under a fake sun, using the most spectacular means, unprecedented means, psychopathic means of stalking using planes and helicopters, a whole police department, just to steal money. This is the entity that's going to be prosecuted for that. Everything that's happening in this venue, including walking, is criminal monitoring that the Ontario Police is being prosecuted for. The entity is engaging in this and the Ontario Police is being disbanded. This is exposing a satanic targeting system where the so-called secret society engages in what is criminally defaming American citizens while gang stalking with the population.
Alrighty, and that is the video that I'm capturing right now. Yesterday, in other words, I am at the Ovid Family Community Library, which is not going to be seen outside of Starbucks' windows right now on Euclid Avenue at 507. They're not across the street from each other. They're not at the same location. If the sun is over the Ovid Family Community Library, then it's not over 507 North Euclid Avenue, and the sun is not an ubiquitous object that's moving over everyone at the same time, remaining for the duration of the day, like the entity engages in. The entity is engaged in this P.O.C., and I want you to be mindful of what I documented on June 10, 2025 at 6:19 p.m., where over the same entrance, the entity is maintaining the fake sun, which is again capturing that pattern of conduct as well. The sun is not going to remain over the same entry like I'm capturing here at 507 North Euclid Avenue, where Patty is targeting me and exhibiting mental illness in doing so, while a supernatural occurrence is occurring. And as you document that, that is no reflection on myself, and it's no reflection on any American citizen, as not only am I going to prosecute the entity for trying to steal property from me, trying to criminally defame my character in doing so. This is an outright and abysmal failure in doing so, but it is requiring that federal laws and state laws change in this country, where gang stalking is used to manufacture the illusion of mental illness on the part of American citizens who are targeted by psychopaths. And that's what is working for Starbucks. And Starbucks, that is headquartered in Seattle, is going to be prosecuted for this. This is documentation of the mere duration of time. The sun is not going to remain at one venue, one address. This is documentation of what is going to be the categorization of a venue as opposed to a legitimate business that's not going to be prosecuted. Patty is engaged in what is the federal offense on video, very foolish, and it's going to be used against Tracy Banks and Jason Isaac Fields in the state of California, while I am subject to terrorism via engineered light, which is the evidence of criminal monitoring. All right, this is the entity that is stalking, and this is what Ovid Family Community Library is doing while the fake sun is over me at that venue. And it's also not over me where LAPD is gang stalking on this day during this time of year in Los Angeles, where the sun is also not going to be outside a Starbucks window. It's not going to be over my head at the Ovid Family Community Library. There is no engineer light that's ever going to be produced from what these demons are stalking me under. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is currently 10:34 a.m. at 507 North Euclid Avenue. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video with the evidence of the fake sun that does remain while the entity is exhibiting severe mental illness while this malicious pattern of conduct is underway. This is the population that's engaging in pacing under a fake sun. And this public corruption is what is going to result in federal prison for the disbanding of the Ontario Police, removal of Paul Leon from office, federal prison for gang stalking baristas at Starbucks, and the entity is going to be prosecuted. Jason Isaac Fields and Tracy Banks R&D going to federal prison, and this is the failure of the system of gang stalking in order to steal via criminally procured conservatorships. This is P.O.C.